Hello mathematicians and welcome to Number Corner. For Number Corner today, we will be looking at our calendar collector. Today you will need your Number Corner book, opened to page 77, Measuring Our Plants, and a pencil. Pause the video now to get what you need. We are going to record how much our seedlings have grown since the last we measured them. We will also record the amount of change that has occurred. Have a look at how much our plants have grown in just a week. Think about any differences you may be noticing. Now let's jump in to how tall our plants are today. Hold on to your noticings for now. We will measure the same plants together on our chart. We will measure the plants in the containers labeled with the number 1. Let's have a look. Let's first look at our pea seedlings. Remember, our pea seedlings have gotten so tall that we're actually using 2 centimeter rulers. Our first centimeter ruler ends right here at 25 centimeters. So we need to add up 13 more centimeters to get our height. Well, if we think about 25 centimeters and we jump up on our ruler to 10 more, well, that's 35 centimeters. Then we can count up to 13, 35 centimeters, add 1 more to 36 centimeters, 37 centimeters, 38 centimeters. We'll fill in 38 centimeters in our books in just a moment. Let's look at our corn seedlings. How many centimeters tall is our corn seedling? Show a connection if you're reading 18. Yeah, this little skinny leaf right here is just at the 18, a little bit over, but closest to the 18 centimeter mark. Now let's record those heights in our Number Corner book. Open up to page 77. All right, you will have a little bit of catching up to do in your Number Corner book. The last time we measured our seedlings was over a week ago. They measured at 27 centimeters on the 19th for our pea seedlings and 15 centimeters on the 19th for our corn seedlings. You will have to write the dates for all of our seedlings in between the 19th and the 27th, as well as the heights and the amounts of change. You'll need to do that for both the peas and the corn. You may need to pause the video now to catch up on your measurements. Now that our seedlings are measured, we are ready to plot our measurements on our line plot. This will be our last update for our line plot and the last time we visit our plants this month. We will place boxes on the line that match the height of our plants. The boxes will represent each group of corn and peas that we planted. We have been measuring group 1 together. Each box will show the group number for the plant, the date, and the height in centimeters. The green boxes represent the pea seeds, and the yellow boxes represent the corn seeds. Let's plot those measurements. Here's a look at our line plot, all put together. Put some noticings in your head to come back to as we start to answer some questions. Give me a thumbs up if you have at least one noticing. All right, let's jump on in. we're going to focus today on just the seedlings we measured for today on April 27th. So those seedlings will be outlined in purple. You can see them here in the corn, and they're kind of all over here for the peas. Let's think a little more deeply about what we're really looking at. How tall is our tallest seedling? How short is our shortest seedling, just for today? And what is the difference between those two heights? After you find the difference, how did you figure it out? Take a moment to think. Show a connection if you can see our shortest seedling for today. Yeah, it's over here by the 11 centimeter mark. Our shortest seedling is 11 centimeters today. Our tallest seedling is 43 centimeters. Thumbs up if you figured out the difference in their two heights. Show a connection if you're thinking 32 centimeters. Good thinking. You could have figured that out in a few different ways. You may have done some math just in your head, thinking, well, 43 minus 10, I know that that's 33, but I'm going back 11, so I need to subtract one more to get to 32 centimeters. You may have used our line plot as a number line. That's great thinking too. If you were thinking, 43 minus 10, let me count back by 10. Oh, it's 33. One more is 32. Good thinking. Let's keep thinking now about what the most common height for each type of seedling is. Remember, most common means the one we see most often. Show a connection if you think you know what the most common pea seedling height is. Were you thinking 38 centimeters? Give me a thumbs up if that's the number you were thinking. Was anybody thinking 39 centimeters? Give me a thumbs up if that's what you thought. That's a tricky one. We are seeing 38 centimeters and 39 centimeters for our pea seedlings twice. That makes them both more common, or the most common. They're more common than the other two heights that only have one height from each group. How about for the corn? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Do we have a most common height for the corn? Oh, I should see thumbs down. Our heights are really spread out. So we don't really have a most common height for the corn for today. Let's think back to the difference in height. What's the difference in height between the tallest and the shortest corn seedling? Think just about your corn outlined in purple. What's the height difference? Show a connection if you're thinking 13 centimeters. That's good thinking. Our shortest corn seedling is 11 centimeters. The tallest is 24. You could have thought of this as a number line 2 and counted up from 11 to 24. You also could have found that difference in a different way. Maybe you figured it out in your head. How about the difference in the height of the tallest and the shortest pea seedling? What's the difference there? Just the ones in purple. Show a connection if you're thinking 5 centimeters. Good thinking. You may have known that in a few different ways too. You could have used that number line trick and counted up from 38 to 43. Or maybe you knew it in your head. Now let's think a little more about how our plants are growing. Does there seem to be a difference so far in how tall the corn is growing compared to the peas? Think about their height. Are they the same heights today? Are they close? Is one growing faster? You may have noticed a few different things. If you're thinking, wow, the corn's still quite a bit shorter than the peas, show a connection. Yeah, it is. We still have a gap here. Our tallest corn seedling is 24 centimeters, and our shortest pea seedling is 38 centimeters. That's still a pretty big difference. That's a difference of 14 centimeters. You may have been thinking too, show a connection if you were, that the peas are still growing faster. Yeah, that's good thinking. You may have noticed other things too. Now I want you to think about something a little different. I want you to think about how fast our seedlings are growing. That's this word rate. Think about this. Are the plants growing at the same rate or just as fast throughout the whole month? I want you to show me a thumbs up if you think they're growing at about the same rate, or a thumbs down if you think the rate is changing. Let's take a closer look at the change in our plant's heights by looking at our plant growth chart. Now let's first look at these little boxes here in red. Look at the amount of change towards the beginning to the middle of the month. That's what we're looking at here. Do you see a lot of change in the heights of our seedlings? Show a thumbs up if you're thinking, yeah, that's quite a bit of change. Or a thumbs down if you're thinking, 5 centimeters a day, that's not that much. I'm hoping to see a lot of thumbs up. That's quite a bit of change. For our seedlings to grow 2 or 3 or even 5 centimeters a day, they're growing pretty quickly, at a quick rate. The same for our corn. If they're growing at 2 or 3 centimeters a day, that's pretty fast. Now let's look over here at the amount of change towards the end of the month. That's within the last about 5 days, 4 or 5 days. Are we seeing the same numbers? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Is that the same amount of change? I should see thumbs down. Our numbers are much smaller. Some days it's not growing at all, 0 centimeters. Other days it's only 1 or 2. 2 is the highest. Over here, oops, this actually should say 1 centimeter. Sorry about that. But still not a lot of change. Our corn seedlings are only growing 0 to 1 centimeter a day. That's a pretty big difference. So do you think the plants are growing a little more slowly towards the end of the month? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yeah, I should see a thumbs up. The rate is slowing down. They're not growing as fast towards the end of April. Let's have one last look at our calendar collector. This is the last time we will observe the heights of our seedlings. Thank you for your wonderful work on growing and measuring these plants with me. Head on over to Seesaw and make sure you show your teachers the difference in the height of our plants over the next week. I know they want to see how well you're tracking that progress. Great work, mathematicians. I'll see you next time for Number Corner.